Being the first one sucks, but all right. Hello, everybody. So I had a plan for this evening, and I wrote a whole talk to share with you about success. Everything was planned, and about 4 days ago, I did a rehearsal in front of my wife and another friend, and they told me that it was pure shit. So I decided to not talk about that. So what you're going to get is going to be a bit more raw and a bit more simple, or from the heart, I guess. As it was told before, all my life I've been a musician. I've been touring all over the world. I can tell you all about how amazing I am, but fuck that as well. And I want to share with you what is more important to me right now. Since my daughter was born, I felt that there was something more important that I had to do with my life. It's really cool to go to places, say, yeah, I'm a drummer, I'm touring around the world, and everybody looks like, oh, really? Wow, that's amazing. And it was really nice for the ego, but I felt at some point, I need to do something more important. And slowly I started to discover what it is that I liked in my career. And it wasn't the big stages and the touring, that was really nice. But what I really liked was these moments that I really connected deeply with someone. If it was in a workshop, or there was one woman that sent me a message after a workshop telling me, thank you for bringing me back to myself. And that was like, wow, this is beautiful. So I started to investigate, what is it that I want to do? And I discovered the world of coaching. And I discovered a lot of the good, the bad, and the ugly of the world of coaching. Try to filter the bad and the ugly and stay with the good. And in the last 2 years, I've been very much involved with work with men. And I do a lot of men's groups, which might sound a bit dodgy or weird. And because it sounds dodgy and weird, and because I feel that what we do in these groups is so sacred and so important, I decided this is what I'm going to talk to you about. It involves success, I guess. So instead of talking about concepts, I will just share with you something that happened to me. Just a week ago, I was in LA. I went for 4 days to a workshop with my teacher. I have a lot of workshops that I do, but this one I went with my teacher in LA. And I'll just share with you a little bit of what happened, what we did there, as much as I can, because it's one of those things that it's really hard to explain. You have to experience it, but I'll just tell you, the first thing that we did, we all went to, there is a place of a guy named Theo. It's about an hour north from LA, and we went there. He has a place where he raises wolves. And this place is very spiritual. It's in the middle of nowhere. Beautiful place, all nature. And he brings there a lot of people like drug addicts, students, prisoners, and there is something very healing in the work with the wolves. So we went there. We saw the wolves, but then he took us and he told us, we're going to give you an initiation ceremony. The next few hours you're going to go through initiation. You're starting this weekend now, which will be very intense. And you're doing this year work together, so let's share some things together. And he told us to start walking around the area, and we walked, and he told us, be like wolves, smell the place, feel the ground, really connect. And then he put us in a circle. And he told us something very beautiful, which I invite you to do as well today. He said, we come to these kind of gatherings, a workshop, a talk, or something like this, and we usually come to take something, some kind of an insight, something deep that we can take with us. And he told us, I invite you today to live something instead of just take. We all carry so much shit with us every day. And he just told us, okay, who wants to share some things that you want to leave behind? So we stood in a circle, and it's only men. And the men here, I believe that you understand what I'm talking about. We are in a fucked up world which is controlled by men, and women are suffering from us men, because it's all about us controlling everything. And I acknowledge that, but I would like to put it on the side for a second, because there's something very hard to be a man as well. Because you have to go out to the world and act as if you know it all. And as men, we don't really have these places where we can open up, really raw, completely open and naked, to just say what we feel, what we struggle with, share our successes as well, but not from the macho guy, but for real, with people who connect from the heart. So in that circle, he told us, okay, so why do you want to live here? So people started to throw things into the circle. My struggle with money, not being able to connect with my wife, not having enough sex, being ashamed of my body, and so much stuff. And it was really intense. We were about 24 guys, I think. People throw a lot of things and everybody connected. It was a very beautiful moment. And then he told us, okay, you see there are some rocks there. I want each one of you to take a rock that is at least the size of your head. So we all went and took a rock and we brought him to the circle and everybody standing there. He said, okay, just hold these rocks for a second. We're all standing there holding the rocks. And he told us, feel the weight of this rock. All the shit that you were talking about, this is what you carry with you every day. It doesn't have the physical heaviness, but this is how you walk every day. This is what I'm saying now. Obviously, it's also for women. I think we're all sharing this. There is this, I'm not good enough. I'm stupid. When is it going to happen? All this shit that we carry. And he told us, feel that. Really feel that. Connect with that. And then he told us, you see that hill up there? We are all going to carry our rocks over there. And people are like, fuck, because it was heavy. It was really fucking heavy. Now, there were two guys who took fucking massive rocks, and he told them, only these two guys, you guys can change the rocks. All the others, I want you to hold the rocks. And he told us, nobody puts the rock on the ground until we get there. I don't care what you want to do, what you have to do, you're all going to carry it over there. And it was like, okay. So we started walking. Everybody with the rocks. And John asked me, I assisted him, and he told me, like, be in the back, make sure that everybody is getting to the top. So we walked, and there were two guys that started to really struggle. So we had to wait for them, and it was a very, very long walk with a lot of struggles, people fighting with each other. Like, what does it symbolize to you to fucking carry this thing? And it was quite steep at moments. It was really, really hard. And as I was the last one with these two guys, when we arrived to the top, men usually would be like scratching their balls and like, come on, you can't do this. But in this environment, and I might get emotional right now, every time I tell this story, I cry. It's just pathetic. But anyway, they were all standing in line waiting for us, saying, you can do it. If any of the men has this on a regular basis, I doubt, but if you do, that's amazing. That was very beautiful to receive this love from men. And I'm not talking about anything sexual. It's just pure love of human being to human being, a man to a man, which we don't experience. Once we go out there to the matrix, it's all about the masks that we wear. No masks. And it was amazing. We arrived there upstairs, and we arrived up to the hill. And I don't know how this happens, but the moment we arrived, all the wolves from down below, whoo, and we were standing there with, well, we could drop the rocks finally, but it's a moment in life that you just stand with a group of 24 men who are all sweaty and all fully connected, and you hear these wolves like, whoo. The thing continued. We had two shamans, people from Guatemala, that gave us a sweat, which I don't know whoever knows what a sweat is. It was a tent. We had a whole ceremony inside, really sweating with rocks that they heated the whole day. It was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. And then we had the whole weekend. I won't tell you what happened in the whole weekend, but what we do is we spend time in love with other men, experiencing the deepest layers of life. Experiencing all the bullshit that we carry, all the crap that we carry, all the beauty that we carry, on the most profound and beautiful ways. And all the shit just drops off. And you see people like you never see people. It's so fucking amazing, especially doing it again with men, because women, you have it more natural to open up, to share your, but trust me, if your man will be there, you will enjoy everything in your life much more. So I just want to share one more story about what happened in the end of that workshop. And I had an experience with another man. We do a lot of exercises. That's the threat, I need to finish, all right. So I'll be quick. We do a lot of exercises where we face each other for a very long amount of time. We can be half hour, 45 minutes. You stand in front of a man for a very long period of time. And we experience a lot of things there. But in that exercise, that specific exercise, it was the last one in the weekend, and I was in front of someone that in a situation like this, I wouldn't connect with this guy. Not my type of guy, not really someone I want to connect with. But spending 45 minutes with this guy, I saw him. Not the mask, not his fears, not his ego. I saw him. And then John told us at some point, told my line, tell the man in front of you something that is important, something that will help him in his life. And seeing him, seeing the real him, and seeing the pain and the fears, all I told him was like, it's time for you to share your heart with the world. It's all good, you're ready. And the moment I said that, you saw red eyes, started to cry, open up, open up, open up. And we spent another 15 minutes together like this, and it's really hard to explain. But in the end of that, he just came to me and he gave me the biggest hug ever and told me, I will never forget this to the rest of my life. So just to close this, for the men here and for the women who have men in their lives, it's important for me to share that these things exist, because if every man will be involved in this work, this world will be a much better place, by far. So that's what I will share with you today. Thank you.